block out the noise and follow your own instincts about things, guys. I think a lot of the times whenever we're creating something for ourselves, whether that may be something with Instagram or a new hobby, dating someone, or just whatever it may be. And I think sometimes, or a lot of the times, we as humans we want to tell, our moms or dads, our best friends, or even strangers, even ChatGPT or just therapy or whoever about our decisions and what we want to do. And I think that sometimes it's best to, maybe move off your own intuition, like, what do you think works best for you? Or what do you know that works best for you? And how, and think about, okay, if I'm going to do this, if my intuition is telling me this, what is my intuition telling me how I'm going to move forward after this? Overall, I think we need to just block out the noise sometimes. I think block out the noise from friends, from colleagues, to even significant others probably. I'm single, so I don't have that experience, but so I won't really talk on what I don't know. So excuse that last part, but I think just blocking out the noise, and me as an actor, we hear that so much, and I hear that so much in my business and my industry about whenever you're looking to achieve and achieve getting roles or what have you, whatever it is within our business. There's so many facets of being an actor of my caliber and ways to succeed. And I think that there's so much noise when you're asking family members or friends or even your agents, your manager, or what have you. And I think a lot of the times, a lot of people have our best interests, or they have their best interests. And I was listening to a podcast earlier. A guy was saying, people are selfish, and that's not necessarily a bad thing on their part, but a lot of the times people want to work. They want you to do what works better for them, or not even just that. They're thinking of their viewpoints on how they would maneuver in a situation. But guys, that person, your mom or your dad or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, your cousin, your aunt, your grandmother, or that stranger, they have a whole different life projection than you do. They have a whole different past, a whole different history. So I think sometimes unless someone is in your shoes or they've been there before and they know how you are logically and how you're going to move, who you're going to be in the next 5-10 years or even the next 6 months, I think it's good to really take people's advice with a grain of salt sometimes. And I'm not saying this as a guru to be this way with everyone, but just try it. I think just don't really listen to the noise sometimes. I think go in yourself, go in Allah, go in God, or whatever you believe in, and just go within yourself and ask yourself, hey, like, what's the next move? What's the next emotional way I need to feel about this? Or what's the next logical move? I just think that we as humans, sometimes we forget how powerful we are and how much we've done and how much we've accomplished and how much we've succeeded. And I think that we need to understand that and just really have that. It's not even just respect for ourselves, but just that awareness, and also just that knowing and that love and that belief in ourselves, like to know that, what, I can do this. What, I don't need to ask this person or that person. I've done a lot of research, or I've been in this experience before, or I've had enough life experience where I know to push this button, not that button, to go here and to not go there, to do this and to do that. And don't get me wrong, I think that balancing the ego, not listening to someone based off of if the person might have hurt you or your ego is crushed or your feelings are hurt. I think it's not good to go off of that, to think of it in that way, but I think it's good to just, if you have 100% clearance on your thoughts and your patterns and what will work, then believe in that and just go with that. And I think it makes you feel at peace too, and it makes you feel more aligned as well. And honestly, you're probably going to get closer to your dreams more than anything going in that route, because you know the way, the pavement. You prayed about it, or you thought about it, or you visualized it. And I think you're brand spanking on point, baby. I think you're good, And I just came from the gym, and I was just like thinking of that. I'm like, man, like, I'm so happy that I've been listening to my intuition, and that and not just in work, but just like in life too, and just owning that and respecting that. There's this supermodel named Cindy Crawford, and I think back in the 90s or 80s, she was doing all these like high fashion model things and commercial things, and then she got asked to do Playboy. And if you guys don't know what Playboy is, I'm sure you do, but if you don't, Playboy is kind of like, you know, women were topless. And she was like a high fashion model, but not with the capital F. And she said when Playboy, everyone in her business and her family, her friends, her agents, I think her agents, she didn't say agents, but I'm pretty sure her team was telling her, don't do Playboy. That's going to be horrific for you and your career. But she was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And guys, that's what really made Cindy Crawford. It made her not just known in the fashion world, but into just the mass media of every home. You know, men knew her, women knew her. You're like, wow, Cindy Crawford. And it grew her audience. And for her, it wasn't about being provocative. It was about, I mean, you have to ask Cindy that, but it literally made her who she is, and she's proud of that decision. And she also talked about how there were some decisions that she made that she wasn't proud of. But what she is proud of is that even if something doesn't work, she feels good because it was her decision. And for me as a man, and me as an actor and a producer and as a writer and as an investor, I love that, and I take ownership of that mentality because that's how I am. If I believe in something, even if it does work or even if it doesn't work, I love that because I put a kono into that decision. I put my whole heart into that, and that's what makes me feel happy and proud of myself because I put me into that situation. I didn't listen to mom. I didn't listen to dad. I didn't listen to a significant other. I didn't listen to anyone. And all those people are amazing. I love them. But I listen to myself. And that's something that I can go to sleep at night and feel good about and wake up the next day and keep striving for success and keep being in love with the man I am that God has made me to be. I hope this video helped somebody. I just came from the gym and I'm about to shower and get back to work. But thank you guys for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And thanks for watching, and drop a comment on your favorite part of this video. Thanks, guys.